And we're even more live now. We're super live. The last live going went poorly. This live going went awesomely. And I like that. So, give me a second. And we're going to talk about movies. We're going to talk about summer blockbusters. Here we go. Okay. So, my YouTube live control room is acting like I'm not live. But I don't believe that. I believe I'm pretty live. So, let's bust some Tony and Friends in Kellogg's Land, baby. Because that's royalty free as fudge. Oh man, and you hear those sweet sounds? God. Whoever made this stuff doesn't even know it's still floating around the internet. So, I mean, technically it's not royalty free, but... So here's what we're doing today. I'm doing my first ever tier list. And if you're a fan of the channel, you've maybe realized that usually when I do videos that are normal, that are like a trend on YouTube, I try to do them stupider, right? Like I did a reaction video, but I wasn't even in it for most of the video. I would just walked away during the trailer. I did answers the web's most searched questions, but obviously nobody searches anything about me, so that was a big joke. You know what I'm saying? You're probably getting an echo on Tony and Friends, huh? But tier lists have re-entered the lexicon, and I kind of like them. So I'm not really going to try to make a joke out of this. I'm just going to do a tier list, and I'm doing my first one live because I don't got time to edit anything today. Anyway, so what we're doing is a summer blockbuster tier list, specifically. And we're going to talk about the top summer blockbusters, and we're going to rank them all. Here's the site that I'm using, Box Office Mojo. If it doesn't show up on this, I don't do it. And there are a few additional criteria you got to think about. For example, Detective Pikachu so far is the top here in our summer. I guess that makes sense because Endgame showed up in spring. So apparently there's some kind of cutoff for spring that eliminated Endgame, and I'm sorry, Avengers fans, because it also eliminated Infinity War. You can see that's the spring right there. So the criteria are top summer blockbuster. I'm only going to do the number one from each summer. The top summer blockbuster. And it's got to be summer, obviously. So let's go ahead and let's just jump right into it. I've got them all set up here. I'm going to go backwards from the most recent. And the most recent is Hey You Pikachu, the movie. To be honest, I haven't seen it yet. I know maybe I should have, but I didn't. Just trying to manage my audio levels here, boys. So I know I should have seen it, and I didn't. Let's talk about... Whoa, moving all over the place. So I don't know where I'm going to rank it, but it looks really good. So let's start off with a nice B. Let's start off real average there. Because it looks good. And that's the other criteria. We're talking about summer blockbusters. Does it bust the block? If it's like, I mean, you're going to see some coming up that don't feel very exciting at all. It has to be an exciting summer movie. Moving back to 2017, baby. We got... No, we could go 2018, actually. Forgot about 2018. 2018. 2018. Why is it not letting me send that over? Is this bad boy? Incredibles 2. What is happening? Here we go. What? I was clearly woefully unprepared for what I'm doing. Sorry, friends. There we go. I figured it all out a little too late. 2018, Incredibles 2. I liked it. It was fine. But it was a disappointment compared to the original. And I don't think it really busted the block. I don't think we got a whole lot of lines around the whole theater. No. So I'm putting Incredibles 2 as E tier. I didn't like it that much. Let's move on. 2017, Wonder Woman. I didn't save the right file for Wonder Woman. Oh, Tuzel! Tuzel, what's up, man? Oh, shit! Too many cats and Pokemons for my taste. Hey, Taz. Hey, Tuzel. I didn't even know I had some peoples watching. What's up, baby? Yeah, Game of Thrones is about to start. That's true. I just need to get a video out today, Tuzel. So I guess I'm doing it. What's up, Taz? I can't believe my biggest, most favorite dog on YouTube is up here. I can't watch Game of Thrones till my girlfriend comes home. You understand. So Wonder Woman, we're gonna use this little television set to represent Wonder Woman. Because I lost it. This television set represents Wonder Woman, and I thought Wonder Woman was an okay blockbuster. So I'm gonna put Wonder Woman C tier because it was DC's best movie for a whole several minutes. Move on back to 2016. 2016's top grossing summer film was Finding Dory's. I'm not good at dragging these things over here, you guys. Finding Dory. 2016's best film. That was Garbo. So let's go ahead and put it right there. And tell Pixar to go back to making original movies. Why don't we? Oh, Tommy Covens, what's up? I didn't even see yours. I'm sorry, man. What's up, dude? If you're still here. Moving on. Let's talk about 2015. In 2015, we got this little number right here. Jurassic World. I thought it was kind of bad. But it did sort of serve the purpose of a summer blockbuster really well. It was a summer movie, for sure. Not all summer movies need to be good. And for that reason, Jurassic World gets a D. It's a D tier. Moving on. The very first Guardians of the Galaxy in 2014 dominated the box office. And I think this is our first really great summer blockbuster movie. So it's going up in A tier. It had spaceships. It had a big cast, big budget, big action. It's everything a summer blockbuster movie should be. Let's move on to Iron Man. Marvel, for 2 years in a row, had the very best or very most money-making film in the summer. So for summer of 2013, we got Iron Man 3. Which goes in F tier. Nobody likes it. I'm included. Now, Iron Man 3 was not nearly as good as Iron Man 2, and it is the only Iron Man that's going to show up on this list. You should see some of the snubs. Iron Man 3 beat Despicable Me 2. That's a huge snub. Despicable Me 2, that would have been an S tier. That's an unbelievable summer blockbuster. But Iron Man 3 snubbed it out. That's why it's an F tier. The year before Iron Man 3 came out, we had another movie. From Marvel Studios. Avengers. This is what a summer blockbuster is meant to be. I dressed up for Avengers. My whole friend group did. I was Captain America. My sister was Thor. And this was 2 years before Marvel Comics started publishing a Lady Thor. So, pretty big deal. Also, it just represents what a summer blockbuster is meant to represent. It's high octane, high budget. It gets people excited for all the right reasons. That's why it's an S tier. Also, I loved it. We're moving on. Now we're at 2011's. 2011's top grossing summer film. It's Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Part 2, obviously. Part 1 didn't make that much money for some reason. So where do we put Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows? It was a good summer release for me. All of my friends got real drunk and went to go see it. And it was exciting. There was a pretty long line. It did bust the block, if you will. That's a key. That's what we're looking for here, is busted blocks. So, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows gets an A. Part 2, obviously. Next, the only thing stronger than the MCU in summer blockbusters seems to be Little Baby Pixar's. Little Baby Pixar's did an alright job. I don't want that. Excuse me. Little Baby Pixar's did an alright job of Toy Story 3. I saw it with my family. No blocks were busted. It was very easy to get into that movie. So, I'd put that at a C tier. It did alright. For those of you that just tuned in, the television represents Wonder Woman because, you know, she has such a strong history of being on television. We're doing all of the very top grossing summer blockbusters for each year. Ranking them. That's what we're doing here, folks. Before I gave it away. Before Toy Story 3 came out, a year before it came out, there came out the very worst summer blockbuster. The very worst top grossing summer blockbuster of all time. Transformers 2 Revenge of the Fallen. This movie was complete garbo. It was the worst of a garbo franchise. That franchise being Transformers. And a lot of people actually like Transformers. I don't hate it. But you can't defend Revenge of the Fallen. It's the worst one. This gets below F tier. It's an insult to Iron Man 3 to call Revenge of the Fallen an equal tier with it. So that gets a Z tier. I'm trying to represent that here, you can tell. And before Revenge of the Fallen came, I vote 3. I thought Toy Story 3 was straight to video till now. Nah, I guess not, you guys. What do you mean you vote 3, Ben? Toy Story 4 is coming out, and I suspect that's going to be one of our top grossing summer blockbusters this year. And it deserves to exist even less than Finding Dory. Anyway, we did Finding Dory. That was an F tier. Anyway, so before Revenge of the Fallen came out, there was an idea to bring together the greatest filmmaker of all time and the darkest superhero of all time. Christopher Nolan made The Dark Knight. This was a masterpiece move in summer blockbuster filmmaking. We went to the theaters expecting a generic superhero experience, and we got An impeccable film. Bellissimo. So, Dark Knight dominates both the A and S tier. It's where it belongs. Superhero movies were the craze, I guess, because before that, we got 2007 Spider-Man. By the way, we're going all the way to 82. What are we talking about? What are we talking about, Ben? I don't know. Anyway, as we were saying, we're going to 1982 because that's how far Box Office Mojo went, and I'm not going to do any more research than I did. And in the year of our Lord, 2007, Spider-Man 3 came out. A lot of people were really disappointed with Spider-Man 3, but I remember at school, everyone went to see this movie. The presumption was not, are you seeing Spider-Man 3? It was, when are you seeing Spider-Man 3? Because there was so much goodwill after Spider-Man 2. No one thought this was going to be awful. And looking all the way back now, it's not awful. It's got a lot of campy humor. It's alright. But it busted the block. And that's what we're talking about. It gets an A tier. What are we talking about, Ben? Something epic? Are you talking about Game of Thrones? Are you talking about how I'm streaming during Game of Thrones? I apologize. We're just gonna go till 1982, and then everyone can shut me down and go watch some Game of Thrones. In the year of our Lord 2006, there was another sequel that dominated the box office. In my opinion, it was the most exciting of its franchise, though not the best. I'm talking, of course, about Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest. A very exciting movie. Made a lot of promises that Pirates of the Caribbean 3 could not keep, but it excited me. Again, that's a key component of a summer blockbuster. That's why it doesn't suck that much. It gets a C, for sure. In 1982, I was negative 196 years old. Did you literally go and do the math on dog years between now and then? Because that's hilarious, Taz. Taz is the funniest dog on the internet. Everyone go follow Taz, the Yorkie. I'm sorry, Ben. I wish you were here to watch Game of Thrones with us, as usual. Okay, so where were we? We're talking now about 2005. 2005, if you knew your 2005 movies, it wouldn't come as any surprise that Star Wars Episode 3 dominated the box office that summer. Was this a good summer blockbuster? Yeah, it's the end of a Star Wars trilogy, for sure. That's a B tier. Let's move that forward so you can still see that Pikachu's there on B tier. Yup, and in 2004, sequel to the greatest film of all time. But did it make a good summer blockbuster? Let's find out on Shrek 2. Yeah, I liked it. Went to go see that movie with my family. We're getting to where I was a baby. I was a baby in 2004. So, all I can go off is my baby impression of the film. My baby impression is C tier. Didn't bust any blocks. It was really easy to get into that movie. 2003, we got another Pixar film because they're just dominant. We got this fishy. I'm sorry, Ben. You don't gotta stick around, man. We got this fishy. In 2003, Finding Nemo was the box office giant. I was homeschooled, so I saw this movie in theaters 3 times. Every church group I was in went to go see this movie. So, I'm sorry, but from my good Christian boy perspective, Finding Nemo was an A tier. Dominating the box office. Busting the blocks. 2002, we get The Good Spider-Man. Tom Holland Spider-Man. Many of you know that Spider-Man was rebooted in 2002. And Tom Holland took over. S tier. It's a great movie. Screw the throne! Arrgh! Are you excited, Ben? I'm excited. but I gotta wait for Cynthiac, so I guess I'm streaming my tier lists. All right, obviously in 2002, Tom Holland was not Spider-Man. It was Tobey Maguire's. But this is the picture I got. Sticking it to A tier though. That was a great movie. That started the superhero X-Men came out before it, but X-Men didn't bust the block. X-Men wasn't even on this list. It was not the top grossing film that summer. But in 2001, the biggest superhero of all time entered theaters for the very first time. I'm talking, of course... Damn it. I was going to try to lead into that. Stop it. I'm talking, of course, about Big Green himself, Shrekels. You can't beat Shrek. Shrek is SS tier. He goes right above the S. That when he born. Yeah, that was when Big Green was born. Can't beat Shrekels, top grossing blockbuster, not top grossing, best blockbuster of all time. In 2000, we had something pretty fudge and confusing happen, and complete garbage came out. Mission Impossible 2, the worst Mission Impossible, F tier. It won, though. It was the top grossing summer film of 2000. So I think when we all look back on the past, we need to recognize how far we come. 1999, another Star Wars Phantom Menace. This busted all of the blocks. S tier, for sure. Oh my gosh. If we're talking about actual busting of blocks, people waited for weeks for Spideys. Not Spideys. For Phantoms. Blocks were busted. All the way around the block. Spidey is my hero, NGL. Me too, man. Spidey got me into comic books. In 1998, Americans all hated themselves. So, when there was a movie about dead Americans, they all flocked to the theaters to go see it. Saving Private Ryan was the top grossing summer film of 1998. I don't know why we wanted to see our American heroes get killed so bad, but the talk around this movie was all about how dope the first scene was. That all really happened. That wasn't a fiction scene. You were watching representations of real men who actually got their fucking heads blown off. So, I mean, it's not that fun to watch, but did it bust any blocks? No. This is a D tier. In 1997, we got a classic. Just good summer film. Summer's about popcorn. You don't want to start thinking about your movies. You don't want to go into your movies to think till at least November. This movie understood that. It wasn't going to make you think. Men in Black. Top grossing summer film of 1997. Just a solid A. It knew what it was. It's a summer blockbuster. Before that happened, 1996, we got Independence Day. White Houses were blown up. Aliens attacked. If that's not summer, I don't know what is. B tier. I keep doing that. All right. I'm going to defer to my loyal viewer, Ben. Ben, what tier would you rank Batman Forever? It's the second of 5 Batman films that are going to show up as the top grossing summer film of all time. I suspect that Batman... No, I don't suspect. Batman has the largest number of franchise films showing up in the number 1 spot for its year in summer. Unless you count Star Wars. Star Wars has 1. Return of the Jedi. I'm guessing Empire also got it. We're only going back to 1983. 2, 3. Batman's beating it for this list. Ben didn't see that one, so we cannot possibly hope to rate how influential Batman Forever was on the cinematic landscape of the year 1998. 1995. It was hugely influential. Nah, it wasn't. Batman was one film away from just ending his franchise altogether and giving it off to Christopher Nolan. I still had fun with it, and I was like a 9-year-old boy. So, no, I was a freaking 4-year-old boy. This was exactly the film I needed. It's a B tier. Moving on. Batman should be a C, I think. Taz the Yorkie thinks Batman should be a C. So I'm going to demote it to a B and a half. Sorry, Batman. Taz knows what he's talking about. Before that came, arguably, one of the greatest American films of all time. Doesn't make sense as a blockbuster. It's not super exciting, but it's an impeccably crafted film. Forrest Gump. Life's like a box of chocolates. And so is this movie. I like it a lot. B tier. Coincidentally, chocolates land in B tier as far as theater candy goes. It's a good movie. Uma Thurman is amazing in that. Wrong Batman, Jimmy Cricket. Yeah, she was in Batman and Robin. That was like 3 years later. I don't know, but it didn't make the list. It wasn't the top grossing film of its year. Maybe because people saw Batman Forever and they were like, I don't know about this franchise anymore. Maybe they should hire Christopher Nolan to direct it. And then they did. That saved the franchise. Taz the Yorkie. This was booze. Yeah, I mean, it's gone now. That was a pina from my local Filiberto's, spiked with 2 shots of rum. Hey, what's up, Jiminy Cricket, though? How you doing, man? Moving on, 1993. It was a good year for summer blockbusters. The man who invented the summer blockbuster, Steven Spielberg, decided to take another whack at it. And he said, what's going to make people more excited than a giant fucking shark? Well, sharks aren't real. So maybe something that is real. A dinosaur. So he invented the film Jurassic Park. It's the greatest summer blockbuster of all time. Not counting Shrek. Counting Shrek. I was actually joking when I said Shrek was the greatest summer blockbuster of all time. It's a triple S tier. I don't have enough space on this page for it, but y'all know it's a triple S tier. Before that, we got another Batman. So let's let the audience decide where this goes. Batman Returns. This one had Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, Danny DeVito's as the Penguin. Obviously, I got very low resolution thumbnails for all of these movies. But what do you think? If you're watching live, tell me. Where's Batman Returns go on the summer blockbuster tier list? Comparing it to our other Batman films. S stands for fucking super, dude. Compared to our other Batman films, we've got a B and a half for Batman Forever and an S tier for The Dark Knight because I really like it. Segs, oof. Is Ben saying Batman Returns is an S? Do you agree? I'll set it up on an S, and I'm going to open myself up to editing that if anybody else comes in. B for Batman. That puts it at an A average. That's where we're voting. I think that's about right. Because I like it better than Batman Forever, and I like it worse than The Dark Knight. It's a good movie. It was actually my favorite of B, slightly better than Forever. It's moving down. It's moving down. Now it's like a B and a half, an A and a half. Yeah, it's my favorite of that first Batman franchise between Batman, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin. I think it was really good. I think it was Tim Burton's best one between Batman and Batman Returns. I don't really care for the first Batman as much. So I like that. I like 8.5, 8.5. And before that, let's see if you could guess. In 1991, my birth year. So I was really a baby. I wasn't born yet because I was born in fall of 1991. In 1991, the greatest sequel of all time. One of my favorite movies was released and it dominated the summer blocks office. What do you think it is? We got any guesses? I'll wait 1 second. Let you type out your guesses. All right, I'm just going to tell you. It's Terminator 2. Judgment Day. You kill off you kill off the antagonist in your film, and now they want you to make a sequel. What do? You bring him back as the protagonist. It was inspired. It was so good. It was better than the original, which is already a pretty good movie. So for this, I'm giving it an S.5. Right below an S. It's not as good as our boys up here that you can't even see anymore. But it was good. The worst one, Ghost. What were they doing in 1990? What were you doing, guys? Do we have anyone here older than 1990 that can tell me what the heck y'all were thinking? Because your other options, you could have gone to see Total Recall. And you went to see Ghost? Total Recall's a masterpiece. I'll never understand it. That's a garbage tier. Let's see if I could throw it away. I don't even want this ping on my computer anymore. It's not working. Nope. Anyway, that movie's a garbage fire. Goes in the trash can where it belongs. I actually don't hate it that much. It's just a weird choice for a summer blockbuster, especially a top grossing one. Before that, we got the first Batman. What do you think, guys? Since the crowd is choosing where Batman goes. Oh, we don't have a crowd. We're down to one watching. So I'll choose where Batman goes. It's a B. Total Recall is freaking amazing, Taz. I love Total Recall. Batman's a B plus, A, right around there. And that's because it's not my favorite Batman. It's not even my favorite Batman from Tim Burton. But if you think about what it did to the superhero genre, it was a big deal, you know. It deserves its spot. After that, in 1988, people were on some weird shit because they watched this movie more than anything else. That's kind of interesting. For reference, in the year of our Lord 1988, they could have seen Coming to America, Big, Die Hard. Die Hard would have been my choice. That's what I would have seen that summer. But instead, folks watch Roger Rabbit. It's not a bad movie. C tier. Year before that, there's more evidence that in the late 1980s, they didn't really know how to make a summer blockbuster. What we were looking for. We got Beverly Hills Cop 2. Again, not a terrible movie. Just a weird choice for top grossing film of that summer. D tier. Before that, we got this little masterpiece. in 1986. Top Gun. Your road to adventure starts here. There we go. Top Gun was a pretty good summer blockbuster. I think it knew that we were looking for high-flying steaks and popcorn, so it gets a B tier. I feel like that's deserved. Man, I just like movies because look at our distribution here. Almost everything is A or A adjacent. 1985, an impeccable science fiction film. None more deserving of the title of blockbuster. I don't think blocks were busted because I think before a certain point, theaters just didn't do that. People didn't line up around the block to see movies. They just saw it whenever they had time. But if this came out today, I'd like to think that all the blocks would be broken. Back to the Future. Freaking incredible movie. It's S tier, for sure. Man, I'm giving out so many S tiers. I really like movies. Top Gun is a complete Michael Bay film. Taz the Yorkie just said that he thinks Michael Bay traveled back in time to make Top Gun. And it is a very Michael Bay film. But I'll tell you what Michael Bay didn't make. 1984's Ghostbusters. It's a good movie. You know, it's not often on these lists that a first in a franchise performs best. But the first was the best in the Ghostbusters franchise. And audiences in 1984 were willing to give it the shot it needed. I'm proud of you guys. Don't know what kind of cocaine you were on in 1990 when you went to go see Ghost, but you made the right choice. Ghostbusters is a B-ish. B-ish, A-ish. It's a good movie. 1983, a very important franchise ended for a period of 16 years. Franchise was Return of the Jedi. The Jedi was not to return again for, as I said, 16 years. But when he returned this time, audiences were excited, and more excited than anything else that summer. So they went to go see Return of the Jedi. It's a really good summer blockbuster. A franchise ender, that's a big deal. That busts blocks. We already got Harry Potter. Avengers would have busted the block this summer if it had come out in summer, but it was a spring release. So this did everything it needed to do. That's an A tier. Putting it right over Batman. And this is our last film on the list. We've made it together as a family. The last summer blockbuster we're talking about is another Steven Spielberg. Maybe you're guessing Jaws because you don't have that good of a memory as to when Jaws came out. What came out this year was E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Do I get it? Nah. Was it a good movie? Yeah. I don't think it was a great summer blockbuster. It was a feel-goody family movie about an alien. The alien part gets it right. But overall, that's a D tier for me, dog. And I say dog, of course, because of Taz the Yorkie. One of the best dogs on the internet. The best dog on the internet. Check out his channel if you get the chance. Anyway, so that's my tier list. What do you think? Did I get it all right? Yes. Yes, I did. This is the perfect summer blockbuster tier list. So don't bother making your own, because I think I really knocked it out of the park. Anyway, I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good night. Good night, Taz.